Hi, my name is Dr. Rosie Main. I am a Maximize Living doctor, a mother of twins, and I'm just so glad to just be sharing with people how to maximize their life, and specifically why I have such an urgency and just a compassion for this topic is I truly lived watching my mom suffering, and she suffered way too soon, is no longer here. She was diagnosed with diabetes when she was pregnant with me. She literally, by the time I was 10 years old, was already on 10 medications, and by the time, she was in her late 40s, was on 18. She never did much for her health and waited too long before doing something about it, and it was year after year what we watched. My mom, unfortunately, is get to the point where she had lost most of the function of her organs, and we had to actually get to the point where we were having to change her diapers by the time, she passed away. And so, literally we see that a lot of times people are having to watch this with their own families. We see a lot of people walking to our office already, on 5 medications, little kids, being diagnosed with bipolar, autism, ADD, people being on depression medications. And the reality is that medicine is good for what it's for, but the reality is that this is not what's supposed to happen. And our whole focus in our office is try to start changing and preventing things. And so God's given us an amazing ability to heal from the inside out. And so our focus here in our office is teaching our patients how to maximize their life with 5 essentials. And knowing that God doesn't need any help healing, but doesn't need any interference, these essentials are to go remove any interferences that are not allowing our body's potential to health. And so we always go back to removing those by instilling just hope. And number 1, and the first essential, is maximizing your mind. With maximized mind, it's going back to removing any interferences with our thoughts. And so many times we have limiting beliefs, or what we call stinking thinking. And so many times we've been told, we have a disease. We start believing that we have no other choice but to just succumb to the disease. A lot of these diseases, such as diabetes and cancer, and even, heart disease, all these are so reversible. But of course, it's going back and putting the right things to allow the body to function at 100%. So first, it all starts with your mindset. Are you thinking good thoughts? And so we always go back and say, we would never leave Christ out of the picture, because if you don't have that first alignment, you're not going to have that peace that comes from within. Essential number 2 goes back to probably the most important essential, but probably the most misunderstood and neglected. We go back and honor the nervous system. See, God put an amazing power in our bodies to heal. So for you to breathe, for your heart to beat, for your lungs to function, for you to digest food, right now for you to understand what I'm saying, everything functions by that life that you've been given in your nervous system. So for instance, if I cut the nerve that goes to the heart, you know that you die. So the reality is, this is why we take this system as the most important system, that for your heart to actually beat, you need that life that God put in our body for it to function. For your thyroid to work, it needs to have that nerve supply. For your immune system to attack the cancer, you need to have a nervous system that's functioning at 100%. Many times, what we do as a chiropractor is misunderstood. We actually are the chiropractors for USA Wrestling and USA Judo, and we travel with these athletes knowing that it's not just about feeling good or for their injuries, but they get adjusted so they can perform at their maximum. And when you have a nervous system that's free of interference, your body's going to function and therefore send that signals the life force for those organs, for your tissues, for everything to heal at 100%. The third essential we talk about is nutrition. So many people right now are suffering from obesity or diabetes, cholesterol issues, and it all goes back to honoring your body from the inside out by putting what God meant for us to eat. And so what we talk about is going back and removing, the man-made food and going back to God food. And the reality is that with today's culture, we have just everything from a can to box food. Everything's processed, and so it's really simple. It's going back and just putting what God intended us to eat. And so it's not about being perfect. It's about just making those small changes and removing and eliminating those interferences. Essential number 4 is toxicity. Toxicity in today's world, and not only in our food, from the artificial sweeteners to we go back to personal hygiene products, from the deodorant you use or the shampoos. All of these are full of toxins that are carcinogenic and really wreaking havoc on the nervous system. See, toxins bind to fat. And the reality, the most important fat is not just in your waistline, but in your nervous system. Your nervous system is made of fat. So these toxins are actually binding to your nervous system that creates the hormones for your body to function. And sometimes people have been labeled with hormone imbalances, or depression, all these Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, all these diseases, the new millennium diseases are have no solutions. And all of a sudden in the last 20 years, all these diseases are being diagnosed, and the solution again is just a drug, when in essence these toxins are really truly interfering with that nervous system to function. So our goal is to go eliminate, or try to reduce the amount of toxins that go in, and try to go back and get rid of those toxins that are really bombarding your body to heal and also not function the way God intended. And the last essential is exercise. Of course, exercise is probably the thing that people hate to do, but truly we are meant to move, and life without motion is not a good thing. So we want to go back and honor our bodies by really going and doing a very simple fast-paced exercise. It's called Max T3. It all goes back to metabolic conditioning. This is where these athletes we work with understand the principle of the more muscle you have, the more fat you're gonna burn, and the lean body tissue you're gonna get, and also maximize your oxygen supply. So we focus on high intensity, short duration, 12-minute workouts a day that really maximize not only your body, but is also very efficient with today's busy world. So all these essential, again, they're essential in the fact that they all encompass everything for a whole conditioned body, so that you can live your potential the way God intended. And it so saddens me whenever people's spirit is so high to go serve your purpose or your mission or be there with for your families, but our bodies are tiring way too soon. And so we want to thank you for just listening to us and seeing maybe we can help you. We want to make sure that you come to our office, that you learn about how to do this. You have the resource with our website, our videos, our audios, and of course we have the testimonials that let you know that there is hope. And some of these people, truly thought they'd never be off their medications, and are now, living a life where they're going back and living it abundantly the way Jesus called us to. And so in John 10:10, it says, "A thief comes to lie, steal, and destroy, but I've come to give it to you in abundance." And that's our hope, is that you go live it to the max. And so we want to thank you for just listening. Thank you.
I feel more energetic, I feel stronger and healthier than I've ever felt. And I've had high blood pressure for several years. And I went to the doctor last week, and for the first time in at least 6 or 7 years, my blood pressure was 112/70. And the doctor was shocked and surprised, and she said, "Well, why do you think it's so low?"
In the first month, I think I lost 16 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what were you?
The first month I lost like 13 pounds. I couldn't believe it, because I had tried previously and it took me like 3 months to lose even 10 pounds.
So when I started on the healing diet, my goal was to lower my cholesterol, but the side benefit was the first week I dropped 3 pounds, and I just kept dropping the weight through that. So I not only had the benefit of lowering my cholesterol, helping my frequent urination, I lost weight. I now weigh 114 and I wear a size 6. So I am very thankful. Maximize Living has worked for me, and I am so thankful God sent me this direction.
I have a better lifestyle as well as my children. And in being able to realize that that is something that they are going to benefit from the rest of their lives, and being able to see them change as well, physically and even emotionally, because they're able to see that mom is so much happier and so much healthier.
Through the program, through the 5 essentials that Maximize Living teaches, I learned how to eat right, I learned how to exercise, to take care of myself, and now totally off of diabetes medicine. In fact, have a 5.6 A1C test. So those of you who know about those tests, you'll know that's a great reading. I don't intend to ever get away from this. It's a gift to myself and to my family and to my wife, that she won't have to take care of me as I get older with all the complications of uncontrolled diabetes.
I was tired of feeling like junk. And so, wow,
That healing diet is hard, but let me tell you, the first time I got on the scales and I saw that number, it gave me a motivation to continue. It's genuine and it's heartfelt, and it has made a phenomenal difference in my life, and I am so thankful that I have learned about Maximize Living and what it can do for me.